turn my back, you laughing.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. Yeah, they can't catch up because they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Green Bay Packers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Mike 50. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Check.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Darnold airing this one out for Evans. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Darnold now to throw. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. And to give this time to the tailback. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hey, 88. Check, 59. Target. 59's Mike. Check, 59. Hey, right there. Whip. Watch me, Nate.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
44, Mike.
To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is?
It's a foot race. The 30, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Eckler, 73 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Inside. We want it. Come to my work.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Let's go, D.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the 1st down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They run the toss here to Okoye. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side with Okoye. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
That's it, baby. We go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. After the run, now Darnold to throw. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And where the time has expired on the 1st quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's got the hook up to Lee. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 28 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now Eckler. To 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Yo. Back one. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check.
Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Second and 9 at the 36-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now Darnold. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Get 300. Get 300.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Inside.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And that's complete to Adams.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On third down, here's the bruiser, Okoye. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he's got some space here. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Eckler, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Escaping the pressure right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw on third down, Rodgers steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Go, go. Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Second and 10.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
30. Mike spoke. You got nothing left. You got nothing. 44.
Throwing again. Rodgers. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
To the sideline and incomplete. Brings up third down and 10.
The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 5.
Rodgers again now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Check safety, check safety.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 19-yard line.
Time. 51, 951. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, 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 twist.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold completes it to Lee. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass. Check, 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 check. Red 80.
Running on 1st down, Eckler takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Darnold. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Here's Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, 64 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And some strong running. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. It's Eckler again. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 41 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Mike Evans there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
Jaguars 30, Packers nothing.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Javon Hargrave picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. The Packers go for it. Rodgers. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll run it with Jones. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 38, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Eckler. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Going on the ground with Eckler. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just... And
this is going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
For the first play in the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing is Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. 16 yards, a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Packers get a score closer. Crosby with the extra point, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Once more, here's Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Darnold from the gun. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. On first down, Rodgers. It's caught by Davis. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Shift, shift. Uncle, over here.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, G, let's go.
On second down, Eckler. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the